I feel like the relationships between like humans and like deities are so screwed. Like, it really bothers me to seeing people like talk about God so much. But like, it just ultimately seems like they just want someone to save them. Like, it doesn't seem like they want to develop a connection with deities or anything like that. They just view them as like as someone that they can either pin their problems on or someone that can just help them. But like when I'm just listening to them, like the things that they want help from, they did it to themselves and they could easily get themselves out of those situations. But they don't want to take accountability for their own actions and stuff like that, for their own wrongs. And then whenever they're come across something good or someone who wants to help them, they always treat them like shit because it's not the God that they want them, that they expect or whatever, that they were programmed to believe in. Like, it's just so weird. But then you expect to go to these like sacred places like afterlife and stuff like that, but you still have so much learning to do. It's so interesting. It's just so interesting to watch from my perspective, seeing these kind of things. But yeah, I think it's so weird how people the views that they have on deities and stuff like that, and then they just really just believe that, like, they just feel so entitled to them, but it seems like they don't even care about them. Like, from what the things I see, it just truly just seems like they just want someone just to clean up their messes and stuff like that, and to save them from sorrow and strife and all these different kinds of things. But when I look at it, the people who go to who are like this are a part of the problem of this planet. They're not the complete problem, but they're a part of it. They're an aspect of it. They're part of it. If they had more faith than fear, then things would be better. But all they do is just fearmonger, spread all this fear and everything like this, and then they're like, it's like the relationships that they have with deities. It's like someone who's drowning, right? It reminds me, wasn't it something like, wasn't that like in SpongeBob? Wasn't someone like drowning? Wasn't it like Patrick or something like that? But then like when he was like being saved, he was like fucking the person up or something like that. I think there was something like that. But that's pretty much like what it reminds me of. Like when they're being helped or whatever, they're just like fucking up the person who's helping them. Like, it's so interesting, you know. Obviously, they don't understand a lot of things, and they don't really understand the depths of this world and how deep all these things are. And a lot of them are just easily programmed, have simple minds and stuff like that, and just believe in like the most simple things, because the simplest things are just the easiest things to conceive and believe in. But then when they believe all these things, they negate everything else, and they feed into their own delusions, and then they pass these delusions to others and make it seem as it's fact. And it really messes things up. But I don't know, I don't really have remorse or anything for it. I don't like anything that disrupts balance within the world. I don't care. I'm not really all that remorseful about it. I don't care how much people do go to church or this or that, or say, oh God this, God that, but really all you're doing is just, you're trying to manipulate the system. That's all I kind of see, and it's not a good thing to do. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. These are things that you have. But yeah, I really think the relationship between humans and deities it's just warped. And there's a lot of deities that are in human bodies and people don't even realize it. And for people who vibrate very low or have like these very like outdated like beliefs or low vibrations or whatever, it it's hard for them to connect with people like that. And when they see people who are pure and everything like that, it's hard for them to connect with them, and they end up having these tendencies to use them and do all these different kind of things. But you have to understand, it doesn't matter how religious you are, it doesn't matter how devoted you are to whatever faith you have or whatever, but if that's a test, if you're treating people who are pure incorrectly, then how do you expect to have the afterlife result that's your that you're wishing for? I think it's a waste. I think it's so sad because I think it's a waste, because I think you're devoting yourself to this belief or whatever, but like, how can you be expect to be accepted into this world when you can't even treat the people who are divine correctly? Oh, that's not the like, in churches I see they said like you should only focus, there's only like one God, and all these different kind of things and stuff like that, but like, really all those things are not really healthy to believe in, because it'll ultimately lead you to purgatory. It can, depending on the situation. This is a really complex thing. That's what I'm talking about it, to help people out. But the thing that matters more than all this like God and religious stuff is ultimately just being a genuine person. So pretty much what I'm saying is, you can do all that stuff you want, but if you're not treating people correctly and you're not being good to people, then what's the point of any of it, right? Because that's ultimately what these things, what religion and all these different things, spirituality, ultimately is. It's supposed to help you treat the world good, treat yourself good, and treat others good. But all you guys are doing is just going to church all the time, just hoping to be saved, hoping to be helped financially, hoping to be helped emotionally, and hoping to have a place that doesn't have suffering. But so many religious people, like at least like Christians that study, they have very very interesting past behavior with people, and a lot of them don't have pure souls. That's why they go to these things. If they were pure, they probably wouldn't go. Because why would you devote yourself to, like, why would you always go to church, all these different things? If you're pure, it's unnecessary. You don't need to do stuff like that. Just live life, and be good to people and all these different things. But yeah, I just find it just really interesting, just studying religion. I find it super interesting. It's like with anything in life, you don't need to prove yourself to anyone, instead of talking about it all the time, just be it. Just do what you need to do. When you constantly need to talk about all these different things and you make religion a personality, or spirituality personality, or God, or whatever personality, that just shows how much you're lacking. It doesn't matter how much time you put into that thing. It's about living in it, not talking about it, and not living in it as in revolving your life around these things. It's about living a life that is, that's the word, just living a righteous life, pretty much. A lot of these people, they kind of like I just listen to them. They're so judge-worthy and egotistical and all these different kind of things, and they like fight over like other religions and beliefs and stuff like that. And oh, my God's right, and this is that. And even a lot of Christians fight over like the kind of religions that they have, like Catholic and like Baptist and like Orthodox. No, ultimately, isn't it pretty much just the same thing? And then they talk about, oh, Jesus is black, Jesus is white, Jesus is Asian, Jesus is just. Why does he even matter? Ultimately, it doesn't even matter what his skin was. If he only, come on, guys, come on, wake up a little bit, why, why would you even take anyone seriously if they're so focused on the color of a spiritual being. Because their color doesn't mean anything. It's about the soul. It doesn't fucking matter if Jesus' word was a fucking beetle, like a monkey or some shit, or a fucking seal. It doesn't matter. All that matters is its spirit. That's what ultimately matters. If you can't understand that, then you're not as spiritual as you believe you are. Because that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter what the person looks like. The religious person, not the religious, the spiritual person. Because ultimately, that's not the point of it. I'm not religious or Christian or any of these things. I don't believe in it. Sorry, but I don't see the point of it. I really don't. At this level, I really don't see the point of it. I really don't. But, damn, what was I gonna say? I don't even remember what the hell I was gonna say. But, oh yeah. Man, it's really just about becoming someone, like the Jesus stuff. It's less about going to church all the time. It's less about what he looks like and all these different things. From what I can remember about the religion, he was someone who was really altruistic, and he was someone who was very well educated and very generous to people, all these different kind of things, and devoted. And he sacrificed himself for people and really cared about people. You know, I don't see why. It's kind of confusing because the people who are devoted to him, they don't really have those traits. He did it without ego. He did those things without ego. Like, I see a lot of people who are religious, but not religious, I'll say like Christian or whatever, and they are generous, but it comes at a cost. They need something for it, or whatever, or like they don't really practice the kind of the characteristics and the path and everything that like their savior or whatever was doing. I don't understand. I think that a lot of people who are Christian can learn a lot from him and kind of do the things that he was doing. Why not model yourself after him in ways? He did so much. It's kind of sucks. He did so much and sacrificed so much just to leave a world full of Christians who just destroy each other and just use his name and everything like that, and his legacy to just destroy and just use them as a scapegoat and everything like that to destroy. They just say all this stuff on Jesus' name and everything like that. They wear crosses with his dead body on it, and they just do all these different things in his name. It's so interesting, It's a really interesting thing. But hey, that's how some people want to be. I really don't understand it. But ultimately, the real truth about the matter is that religion is just a mainstream thing. It's not really real. It's just some mainstream thing to feed the people who can't think for themselves. That's the whole reality of religion. The truth about it is that there's infinite amounts of spiritual beings who had similar paths as Jesus, who had similar power, who had similar minds, whatever, in their own unique ways, because it's about the soul. And ultimately, anyone can become like that, but you have to follow your soul. And the future of this world is where everyone's able to be their own spiritual being. Instead of following other people, you're your own spiritual being. And also, and another thing too, with like a religion like Christianity, spirituality is a solo individual experience. Everyone has their own soul's calling and everything like that. It's not really ideal to learn to practice spirituality with other people and all these different things. Like my grandma like forces me to like do like these spiritual things and stuff like that I'm not comfortable with, because it's like not what I want to do, because it goes against my own spiritual beliefs and everything like that. But she wants to like force me to do her thing, but she acts like she doesn't do that kind of stuff, and that you're not supposed, and she knows you're not supposed to do that, but she keeps trying to force me to do things. Like, it's disrespectful. I don't try to force you to believe anything that I believe. If that's what you want to do with your life, do it. It's fine. You know, I don't care as long as you're not hurting anyone. But like, seriously, ultimately, spirituality is like a solo thing. Really, like it really is. It's not. I don't really pay much attention to anything that has masses. Anything, not even just religion. Anything that has masses, because you lose your identity. Because you need to, like, ultimately, you have your own calling, your own path, your own soul, your own ideals. The universe is vast. It's infinite. It's way too expansive for 10,000 people or 1,000 people to be gathered by one like mega church or whatever and believe the same shit. Like, that's dangerous if you ask me. All these people believe the same stuff. That's dangerous. That's so fucking dangerous. That's extremely dangerous. Oh, you're cursing. It's just fucking words. Shut up. Don't care. It's dangerous for all these people to believe the same thing in this vast universe. No wonder why the fucking planet is dying. Because you guys are ignoring what's right in front of you. Focusing on all this other stuff because everyone else is saying, oh, Jesus, Jesus, or this, that. So you're scared and you're going towards that when you're ignoring what's actually real and what's right in front of you. I'm telling you, this is a brand new age, man. Like, it's time for you guys to start waking up. Like, if you guys keep on blindly following the sheep, you will die. I'm like, it's not a threat. It's just your fate. It's literally true. Because you're going to just end up dying if you just if you don't have the courage to follow what you actually know you should do. If you just keep on following these people because you think it's the safe thing to do, you can end up dying. You know, it's a factual thing. So I'm trying to help you guys. Yeah, you know, following what's the right thing to do and following yourself instead of the masses may not be easy, because, you know, you're going against the masses, but it's the best thing to do if you ask me. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's up to you, but I'm just saying. But yeah, you know, do whatever you want to do with your life, you know. I'm just trying to help you within the life that you have now so you don't waste it. But hey, whatever happens, it's your life. I'm an arbiter. I can't force you to do what you like. I can't force things on you, even if I know something's best for you. But yeah, the best thing to do with spirituality is to become your own God. That's what we're here to be. We're here to become our own gods, not to follow anybody, but instead to be disciplined enough to be able to coexist along other deities and divine beings. Coexist, not rule anybody, not be more superior, not be under someone. No, but just to coexist amongst everybody and be your own individual. That's the ideal future for the world. Everyone can be their own God. But yeah, that's all I'll say for now. You guys be good out there, alright? Take care, be happy, blessed, abundant, safe, all these things. And yeah, you know, have the courage to be yourself. Otherwise, why are you here? Why are you here? Why do you have a soul if you're not going to use it? You know? But, yeah, be easy.